Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to week 2 of our alumni online program for the month of May. And this month, what we're doing is just taking some basic principles of how to live a meaningful life that are in this book. This is Dr. Paul Wong's latest book on meaning and purpose things, and we're applying them, of course, to the addiction field. And this week, one of Dr. Wong's big points is you always have to keep an eye on the future. Now, with all these ideas of mindfulness and everything, and live in the present, I mean, I've read that in a dozen books. I mean, that's important. But according to Dr. Wong, it's fundamentally important that you always keep an eye on the future because you have to know where you're going. He gives this example of if you were watching like Wayne Gretzky or Sidney Crosby on the ice and all they were doing is skating in circles, and they're very impressive, of course, because they're so talented, but they weren't actually doing anything other than skating in circles. As part of the crowd, you'd probably be saying, like, what on earth are these guys doing? Because everybody wants them to go towards the goal, right? And in fact, that's in reality what Sidney Crosby and Wayne Gretzky always did, is they could dipsy doodle and do all this, but they were always headed towards the goal. And keeping an eye on the future allows you to accomplish that. So one of the things to ask yourself is, are you getting goals accomplished? I mean, that's actually a big point, because a lot of the alumni phone calls we get for people who are struggling is they aren't actually following their aftercare program. They had great goals, maybe go back to school or change jobs, but they haven't pursued them. And one of the problems psychologically with not pursuing them is nothing is really getting accomplished. And getting things accomplished is fundamental to self-esteem, to getting over guilt, all that kind of stuff. So this idea of keeping an eye on the future is pretty fundamental. Live in the present, but always know where you're going, what direction you're headed to. Okay, so that's our basic one for week 2, and we'll see you next week.